5 years from today, you wake up, you check your phone, not because you are stressed about bills, not because you are worried about your bank balance, but because you genuinely cannot wait to see how much your investments grew overnight. That is not a fantasy. That is just math, applied consistently, over 5 years. But here is the problem. Most people spend those same 5 years doing the wrong things. Working harder at a job that has a ceiling, saving small amounts into accounts that barely grow, watching everyone online apparently get rich overnight while their own progress feels invisible. And by the time 5 years pass, nothing has changed. If that fear sounds familiar, what I'm about to show you is the realistic roadmap that actually works. Not the get-rich-quick version, not the wait 40 years version, the version that builds real momentum in the next 5 years. My name is Jack, and I spent years figuring out why some people completely transform their finances in 5 years, while others stay exactly where they started. Hit subscribe, because what I'm about to share took me way too long to figure out. Let us get into it. Here's the first thing most people get completely wrong. They think wealth is built by saving harder. It is not. Saving is important. But saving alone is like trying to fill a swimming pool with a teaspoon. You can do it, but it will take your entire life. And by the time it is full, you will be too tired to swim. Here is what I mean with real numbers. Someone saves $300 per month. Better than most people. Over 5 years, that is $18,000. With 8% market returns, that becomes around $22,000. That is good. But it is not life-changing. And here is why. The biggest driver of wealth in the first 5 years is not saving. It is not even investing. It is income growth. Think about your income like a car engine. If the engine is small, no amount of clever driving will make the car fast. You need more power first. And the same is true with money, because here is what happens when income grows. Saving becomes easier, investing becomes easier, debt disappears faster. The entire financial picture accelerates. Let me show you exactly how dramatic this difference is. Person A earns $3,000 per month, saves 10%. That is $300 per month invested. Person B spends the first 2 years focused on one thing: growing their income. Through skill development, job switching, side income, their income grows to $5,000 per month. They save the same 10%. That is $500 per month. That $200 monthly difference, over 5 years, is $12,000 more invested. And if the income gap grows further, which it usually does, the difference becomes enormous. So step 1 is clear. Make income growth your primary focus in year 1 and year 2. Now, before you think that is easier said than done, consider this. Data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that people who switch jobs increase their salary 10 to 20% on average each time. Do that twice in 5 years, and your income looks completely different. 5 years is also enough time to learn a valuable skill from scratch. Build a side income stream. Negotiate multiple raises. Start a small business alongside your job. Income growth is not instant, but over 5 years, it is absolutely achievable for almost anyone who makes it a deliberate focus. But here is where most people destroy their own progress. They get the raise, and then they spend it. New apartment, better car, upgraded lifestyle. Before long, the income went up, but the bank account looks identical. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. Your brain normalizes improvements almost immediately. The new car feels incredible for 3 months. Then it is just your car. And suddenly you want the next upgrade. This is lifestyle inflation, and it silently kills more financial progress than almost anything else. Which brings us to step 2. Capture every raise before your lifestyle can claim it. Here is the rule. Every time your income increases, immediately redirect at least 50% of that increase into investments. Automatically, before you ever see it as spendable money. So if your income grows by $1,000 per month, 500 goes straight to investments. The other 500, spend freely. Enjoy it. You earned it. But the first half is already working for your future before your brain has time to build a new lifestyle baseline around it. This one rule alone separates people who build wealth from people who earn well but stay financially stuck. Now, step 3 is where everything. Once your income is growing and your savings rate is protected, your money needs a job. And historically, the most reliable job for long-term wealth has been broad market investing. The S&P 500 has returned roughly 10% annually on average over the last century. Not every year. Markets fluctuate. Some years are rough, but over longer periods. Consistent broad market investing has been one of the most powerful wealth-building tools available to ordinary people. Let me show you what this looks like when steps 1, 2, and 3 work together. Suppose after 2 years of income growth and protecting your savings rate, you are investing $1,000 per month. Over 5 years, that is $60,000 contributed. With moderate market growth, that portfolio becomes $70,000 to $80,000. But here's the part most people miss entirely. The real magic is not the 5 years. The real magic is the momentum those 5 years create. Because once you have a growing income, a protected savings rate, and a compounding portfolio, the next 5 years do not just continue, they accelerate dramatically. Let me tell you about someone I know. Early 20s, stressed about money constantly. Income barely covered expenses, savings almost nothing. He made one decision. For 5 years, he focused on only 3 things: growing his income, protecting his savings rate from lifestyle inflation, and investing consistently in simple broad market index funds. Nothing flashy, no risky trades, no get-rich-quick schemes, just discipline applied consistently for 5 years. 5 years later, his income had doubled. He had over $80,000 invested. And the compounding that was already happening meant the next 5 years were going to be dramatically faster. That is how wealth actually builds, not through one brilliant decision, but through consistent small decisions repeated over enough time. So here is your honest 5-year roadmap. Year 1 and 2. Make income growth your primary financial focus. Switch jobs if needed. Build a skill. Start something on the side. Your income is your most powerful asset right now. Year 1 through 5. Every raise. Capture at least 50% immediately into investments before lifestyle inflation can claim it. Year 1 through 5. Invest consistently in simple broad market index funds. Not complicated strategies, not risky trades. Just consistent ownership of the market over time. And then, stay consistent for the full 5 years. Because here is the truth most people do not want to hear. Wealth does not come from one brilliant move. It comes from hundreds of boring, consistent moves repeated over enough time. 5 years from now is going to arrive whether you prepare for it or not. The only question is what your financial life looks like when it gets here. Will you still be in the same position, wondering where the time went? Or will you have built the kind of momentum that makes the next decade look completely different? Because the difference between staying stuck and building real wealth is almost never about talent, or luck, or income level. It is almost always about choosing the right strategy and giving it enough time to work. If this shifted how you think about the next 5 years, hit subscribe. New video every week on building smarter money systems and creating real wealth without complicated strategies. And one question for the comments. Where do you want your finances to be 5 years from today? Because that future starts with the decisions you